Hello everyone, this is Kim Quady with KimPlaysWithPaper.com. I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Mesa, Arizona. And today I have a fun video for you on creating a fall card using the Emboss Resist technique. So if you want to see my blog post, there will be a link in the description, as well as links to purchase any of the products that I use to create this fun kind of fall themed card today. So let me pop you down to my workspace and we'll just get started with today's project, and I'll show you what I'm doing and you can watch as I create. So this is called the Emboss Resist technique, and I am using Stampin' Up's Amazing Silhouettes stamp set, and you will find that in Stampin' Up's annual catalog. And I haven't used it in quite some time, but when I ran across another video about this on Pinterest, I thought, well, this is a really fun technique to try with this. Now, this card uses the cherry cobbler. I did make quite a few others with Cajun Craze and Mango Melody. So this one that we'll be making today is cherry cobbler and crushed curry. The sentiment comes from Stampin' Up's Art Gallery stamp set. I love this set because it has a whole wide range of sentiments that I can use. So I can make one card and then put several different sentiments on it. So the supplies I'm going to use are the cherry cobbler cardstock, and that measures 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. I have another piece of cherry cobbler cardstock, 5 1/4 by 4, and I've embossed it with Stampin' Up's 3D embossing, the Timber 3D embossing folder. Another element that gives it a fall look. I am using a piece of shimmery white cardstock that measures 5 1/4 by 2.5, shimmery white, and then a piece of crushed curry that measures 5 1/4 by 2 5/8. And then I will have a piece of very vanilla cardstock, 5 1/4 by 4. That will be for the center of the card. So let me put those supplies away. I will show you a little bit about the heat embossing. So you'll have just a little bit of noise while I show you this process, in case you haven't heat embossed before. So I have my stamp all set up on my block. I'm going to use the Stampin' Up Embossing Buddy. That's part of the new embossing kit that's in the July through December annual catalog. The Embossing Buddy just gets all the static off there. I swear you could emboss your fingerprints if you didn't get all that static off of the paper. I'm using Versamark ink. It's a kind of a watermark ink, but it will make the embossing powder stick. And I'm just going to apply some of that Versamark ink to the top of my stamp. And you cannot see the ink on there, but I assure you that it's there. And even when we stamp, we're not going to see a lot of that ink. It won't be real obvious that it's on there. So I'm going to try to put that right in the middle, press down evenly and firmly. And I will bring this up. I don't think you can sort of see the image. You might be able to see it just a little bit more as we put the Stampin' Up's white embossing powder. I'm just going to now I'm using a paper plate. The Stampin' Up's Embossing Editions kit also has a tray, but I've got gold embossing powder in that tray at the moment. And then I'm going to just quick heat it up and just close your ears for a couple minutes. I'll show you. Hopefully you'll be able to see the image turn shiny. All right, you were able to see a little bit of that. With a large image, it takes a little bit longer, and my heat gun is just starting to get heated up. But I do have another one that I've already heated for you. You can see the white on there, but we're going to make this tree come alive with the next little piece of this video, the Emboss Resist. So the white embossing powder is on the paper, and it will resist ink. So the ink will only go on the paper. Let's watch. I'm going to start with a cherry cobbler and a sponge dauber, and I'm going to start out fairly conservatively, just applying the ink to the tree. I want to go up the stem of the tree because I want to achieve kind of this two-tone look that mimics some of the fall trees that that you see in certainly I did see some in Arizona a couple weeks ago when my husband and I went to the Grand Canyon, and we do have some really pretty fall colors, but not the fall colors that you would see in like North Dakota and Minnesota where I grew up. I'm going to bring in my crushed curry, and I'll go back and forth to get the look that I want. So I'm just going to start adding, and there are leaves on the outside here. And I have this terrible feeling that I am going to sneeze. Excuse me. I'm surprised that's all it was. It's usually way more than that. All right, so I'm just applying little circles of ink, trying to not go too far out. Getting the two-toned color. You can use any kind of color combination that to you says fall, wherever the colors are, in your world. I think maybe we just need a little bit more of that cherry cobbler to come out, to make it a little more brilliant here. And sometimes the more I mess with it, the more, but you can just see how adding just a little bit more color changes it a little bit. So I'm going to leave that be. I'm going to close these up. I'm going to bring in a little paper towel and wipe off the remaining ink. So I'm just going to just do a quick little rub. Takes off some of the excess ink, leaving you with that image. Very, very pretty. So like I say, you could work on it as much or little as you want to try to get that image that you need. I'm bringing in the congratulations. I know it's not quite Thanksgiving themed, but we have weddings and anniversaries in the fall, and so this card can be used for that as well. And so you can use any sentiment you want. If you have a happy Thanksgiving, you could use that. Lots and lots of options, but this is, I love to make the cards that I am going to be sending out in the near future and show you how to do that as well. I'm going to affix this shimmery white piece to my crushed curry. I've only left like 1/8 of an inch on each side for myself. If you're making this card at home, I've matched up the top and the bottom, but there's just a small little border on each side, just to let the image do the work for me. Just a couple of glue dots to put the sentiment on. I'm just going to, I like having my grid paper to kind of try to line things up a little bit. All right, and then my trusty linen thread. I need to put some more of this on my order. I'm going to go about 16 inches. That's probably a little bit more than I need. But sometimes I need a lot of ribbon to tie what I want. So I start with the ribbon hanging like such, and then just wrap it around and wrap it around, and then I'm able to tie a bow. I think the linen thread, I like to use that for the fall masculine, kind of that just natural, neutral look with the linen thread, and it's $4 a roll, so I use it amply, and why not? It just adds just that little bit of texture to your card. All right, trim that off a little bit. All righty, and then we have our card base. I'm going to use a little bit of glue to put that embossed piece on there. It's 5 1/4 by 4 cherry cobbler that I embossed in the Timber 3D embossing folder. Watch me glue. Sometimes I get too much, sometimes I don't get enough, but with the embossing folder, sometimes the glue helps that stick to all the pieces. And you see I did have some that leaked out, but it will dry. Just give that a rub to get that set. And then I'm going to take this piece and put some Stampin' Dimensionals on the back, get that popped up. You could either do it flat, or you could pop it up, whichever your little heart desires today. Or if you want it more flat to mail, that's an option as well. Put probably, I don't like my projects to sag, so I use a lot of dimensionals. Again, these are like $4.25 and pack for three sheets, so that's a good value. So use them up. All right, and instead of centering it, I'm going to try to put it on the left-hand side just for something a little more visual. And we'll put the Very Vanilla in there. You know, let's just for fun, let's take our cherry cobbler and maybe put a tree image on the inside. You could also do that on your envelope if you so desire to spruce that up a little bit as well. Spruce it up. I don't know what kind of a tree this is. But I'd like to think it's a maple, you know, with the changing colors. Think about that you could use this technique with other colors for other seasons. All right, there we are for that. And then, of course, we need some bling, 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 bling. And I have been using a ton of these champagne rhinestone basic jewels. Love these little guys as well. They I'll just grab one with the sticky part there, one there, and you can put these little jewels anywhere you want. And there we have it. There is our cherry cobbler version of the Emboss Resist technique with Stampin' Up's amazing silhouettes and art gallery stamp set. And this was the Cajun Craze version I did, and then the you can see I did the thank you, and then my cherry cobbler. We also have, you can try Mary Merlot in real red, and sometimes you'll see some purples. So give those a try. I hope you've been inspired and enjoyed this video today. Find me at kimplayswithpaper.com. All those links will be in the video description. So if you have any questions, please give me a shout. Thanks so much for watching today. And if you haven't already subscribed to the, my YouTube channel, I'd love to have you, and you'll be notified when I add new videos. All right, everyone. Thanks for joining me. Have an awesome day. Bye-bye.